Welcome to the Smarketing Show, hosted by award-winning B2B sales performance coach Rick Lambert, who has been selected by many of the world's most recognized companies to help them market and sell to win. Let's join Rick now.
Hey, Rick, welcome to the Smarketing Show. We're going to talk about LinkedIn. Now, we've coached thousands of salespeople on how to get up and running on LinkedIn, and we see classic messy scenarios, don't we?
Car crashes, train wrecks,
yes.
We've seen it all, yes.
Oh yeah, we certainly have. However, I think some people get tripped up in thinking it's overwhelming. Like, where do I start? You know, maybe you want to expand on that.
Well, I think a lot of business people, and that's our primary audience. Now, look, if you're a Gen Z watching right now or a millennial thinking, hey, what about Snapchat or Facebook? We're all, cheering for you over on those channels. But I think, without question, LinkedIn is the watering hole where business people congregate. And, when I talk to people about LinkedIn, I try to say, look, this is like a virtual digital chamber of commerce meeting like you would never believe. Everybody's there you'd ever want to sell to, right? You got financial leaders, business owners in this room. You got accounting people in that room you might want to deal with, buyers over there. So anyway, I think young people often have a problem, Melissa, shifting from the Snapchat to LinkedIn. It's got a little different vibe to it. And if you're a tenured person watching, you too might say, you know what, I should be more active. I could be more active. And today we're just going to talk about classic mistakes we see people making. But as Melissa, you said at the beginning, very easy to fix if you're right along with us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, why don't we get started with the profile? That's the big one there.
So, I don't know about you, Melissa, but when we invite company over before they get here, we actually clean the place up a little bit. Okay.
You do? Like, yeah, we vacuum?
Yes. Well, maybe, or we just shove stuff under the couch, in the cupboard, wherever it goes.
Possibly.
So it looks like it never looks when we live here. So if you think of that same mentality when it comes to LinkedIn, a lot of people want to jump in and start engaging on LinkedIn, but their profile's just a wreck. And so, the classic mistakes. A guy told me a long time ago who ran marketing for 3M Corporation. He said to me, Rick, when a human looks at anything, whether it's a newspaper, a web page, magazine ad, you name it, a human will always look at a picture of another human. And so with that in mind, I want you to think about, the fact that when someone looks at your profile, the first thing you're going to look at is your picture. And when we do our LinkedIn boot camps, the first thing we do for a client is we take a snapshot of all their people's profile right now to give them a current state. And typically in the 20 to, I would say, high 28% range, there's no picture whatsoever. And I don't know about you, Melissa, but I like to see the person. How do you feel about that?
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the biggest mistakes. People think, oh, I don't like how I look. But they can't even relate or engage with you if there's nothing there. So make that an important thing.
And I know making a decision on your picture has never been a problem for you. Hey, look, it's a problem for everybody, but you're never going to get the perfect picture. The second thing is, we talk a lot in our boot camps about how when you have someone joining your organization, maybe they've been there for a while, everybody should wear the same jersey. And I'm talking about the banner on the top here. Now, look, this is basic, but if you're watching right now, take a look at your teammates or the people that represent your company. And are they all looking the same in terms of that banner on the top? And the last part, what I would say, is in the about section. A lot of people, if you read it, it looks like a job resume. I am the greatest sales rep. I'm always over plan. I'm a super duper negotiator. Everything a buyer probably doesn't want to see. And so I would just ask you to take a look at that and be honest with yourself and say, okay, is this a customer resume or is this more of a job resume looking thing? So picture, banner, easy to fix. You can do them in seconds. And then lastly would be the about section, and make sure that it's more, speaking to a customer, because customers, I would say, are going to be looking at, if they're not already, your LinkedIn profile more than they're looking at your business card.
Absolutely. I think one more thing to add there, Rick, is the headline quote too. What do you do? How can you help? Right. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna expand on that in the about section, but don't leave that headline quote blank.
I'm glad you brought up, because a lot of people have vice president of whatever or account manager. And, a best practice is to kind of explain a little bit about the benefit you offer. And of course, you can have your title in there as well. And that's, again, the text that sits right under the picture on your profile. So again, good point, Melissa. Banner, photo, kind of your headline, and then the about section would be at minimum things to clean up before you start inviting company over.
Now, is that about section? Is that a boot or about? Is it Canadian or American?
It depends. Wherever you're watching this marketing show, we automatically translate.
I couldn't help it. Okay, next up, watch who's visiting. Why would I want to do that?
Okay, well, the beauty of LinkedIn is you can see within your profile who's coming to look at you. And we believe anyway at Sell to Win that if someone's looking at your profile, there's probably a reason that they've come there, right? They've come through a post that you've done, or they're looking at who works for a company. And too few people actually on a regular basis take a look and see who's looking at their profile. And if you agree that that may be a slight nudge in terms of a buyer looking at you or a potential partnership, I think I would agree with you 100%. And when you get going on LinkedIn, like so many of our sales people that have come through the boot camp are, because it is a money maker, and we'll talk about that as we move through today's Smarketing show. The most of the salespeople we work with have their LinkedIn profile open so they can get messages during the day, just like their email inbox, and they actually manage both once they get going. So in the spirit of managing your profile, certainly you want to make sure it's looking at your profile.
Absolutely. How about engagement? Liking, commenting, all that good stuff.
Yeah, so a lot of people, you meet people, as you know, Melissa, in person, and they're gregarious and they're this or they're that, or maybe they're, withdrawn or whatever they are, but you throw them on LinkedIn and all of a sudden they don't want to make a post for fear of a mistake. They don't want to damage their personal brand, all good reasons. And I think before you engage, meaning, you post something, or you like something or share something, I would suggest you take a spectator role first and watch the blunders of other people or what you do like, because you've got to figure out your own style. I mean, really, this is your personal brand we're talking about here on LinkedIn. I would argue it's your personal website today and moving forward. But I would suggest strongly be a spectator and watch what others do that you like, and then emulate that, because success always leaves clues. Now, Melissa, I think, the classic mistake we see is from a sales role or even a business leader, if you're trying to do business with company Y and you're looking at maybe the person that you're going to be meeting with or you've met with, or their support team, the stakeholders and the decision, why wouldn't you start to like some of the posts the company made or the people made? I mean, think about how you feel, Melissa, when someone likes your post. How do you feel?
Oh yeah, it's so great. You're in there all day. Who liked it? Who liked it? It's a morale boost.
Hopefully not all day, but
right.
I think there's a nice feeling. But in with LinkedIn, the nice thing is you get a notification that, hey, Rick Lambert liked Melissa's post. And so you get that digital touch, and that brings you top of mind. And again, top of mind at point of need is everything we believe LinkedIn's about. So, might I also say this, that I believe anyway, personally, the less you sell on LinkedIn, the more you will sell. And we've had people grow their pipeline by hundreds of thousands of dollars, connect with people they've never connected with before through phone, email, etc. So the platform is just a beautiful complement, not a replacement, but a complement to what people have done before. And I've got a vice president of sales that went through our boot camp, and he's doing something that I think is a really good, easy thing for people to do, Melissa, and that is he just picks customers that he does business with and shares their posts. So that goes to his network, and the customer gets a notification that, hey, this VP of sales is sharing the post. And again, that makes them feel good. He's showcasing their business. And again, these are very easy things to like, right? Just click the like button, comment, hey, great post, whatever, or better yet, share your customer's post. I think they'll love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that leads us into invitations, like invite, right?
Yeah. So when I speak to live audiences, I talk about the Chamber of Commerce concept, and in a live chamber of commerce meeting, I don't think, Melissa, you would be impressed if I walked up to you and, put my hand out and said, hi, I'm Rick Lambert. I'm the #1 digital sales performance coach there is. And let me tell you why. And let's get together next week for a meeting on Tuesday at 10. You would probably run away and go to the drink tray, right? So yes. Nobody likes the person that's hitting on everyone in the room. And this is the theory we have at Sell to Win. And I think when you invite, a lot of the invitations I see, and I'll ask you, let me ask you now, what do you see in invitations that you maybe like, Melissa, or things you don't like when people are trying to connect with you?
I think something I don't like, I'll start with that, is just what you did. Here's all about me. Here's what I have to offer. Click on these links. Oh, I've also attached this. And oh, by the way, oh, by the way, oh, by the way, it's just overwhelming. I think it needs to be simple, to the point, and that's what I do like. And hey, engage with me, and perhaps, you know, my connections can help yours. Something along those lines.
Yes. So good point. So I think a lot of first of all, we're seeing the attention spans today of business people be shorter than ever, right?
Absolutely.
And it's the new Gen Zs come in. If you don't have a Gen Z kicking around your house there with their face in the phone looking for short messages, you know, get ready for the next generation of business people. A lot of times, like when I get an invitation, it could be like 3 to 5 paragraphs, and I'm looking at it, and to me that equates to time, and I just don't go there. A lot of the invitations look like prospecting emails, and I think an untrained person on LinkedIn mistakes like, "Hi, my name's Rick. We do this type of business or service. You know, we've got this type of track record. Let's get together and meet next week." That's not the spirit of LinkedIn, and that's the big kind of twist that people have to get their head around.
Agreed.
But I think what you touched on there and keeping it short, and always under the mindset of, you know, what's in it for me if I'm the receiver to connect with you. So
Absolutely.
when someone approaches you, and I'll just read one now I got in my inbox here, like, "Hi, Rick, I'm blank," the person's name. "Nice to meet you. We haven't met before. It seems like you and your team are doing great work for clients." Okay, I don't mind a bit of butter on it. Okay, I'll go for that. "It would be great. It'd be great to have a chance to do business with you." Okay, so here he's selling now, and it's a he. "I was wondering if you would be open to chat over a virtual cup of coffee to get to know each other first. Chat soon." Now, I'm okay. I got the flattery part on the front end, but I have no idea what's in it for me to meet with this person. And this is the spirit that we get so many. And so I think less commitment on the initial approach. You know, "Hi, Jim. Congratulations on the work you're doing at whatever. Let's connect here on LinkedIn. Maybe my extended network can help you in the future." Might be something that we might suggest, because it's a benefit for that guy, because then he can access your network, as you said, Melissa. But less is more. And strategically on LinkedIn, we suggest you think about, get the connection first. Don't go for the appointment first. It's too aggressive.
Absolutely.
And then secondly, send them like a digital copy, which might be like an ebook or a link to a video or something relevant, and then ask for the offline conversation. But I think people they swing for the fences in the invite, and I just think it comes across too aggressive.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree with you more. All right, next up, posting or activity.
So we worked with the MBAs at Canada's, we'll call it the Harvard of Canada, the Ivy Business School. And when the pandemic was in, a lot of them were saying, "Hey, I really need to work on my digital personal brand." And when we worked with these MBA students, the question that kept coming back is, what do I post? Okay, great. I've got my profile set up, but what do I post on there? And so what we did was we worked with them on thinking through different types of posts. And for them, they're in the job market. For you, you might be in the job market, or you might be in the market of trying to sell. Whatever it is, whether you're selling yourself or selling a product, we still think too many salesy messages are not going to go over very well in terms of your audience. And Melissa, I don't know, are you able to record TV shows?
Yes. PVR?
Yes. Okay. Now, be honest, when you watch whatever it is, crazy shows you're watching, do you fast forward through the commercials, or do you actually slow down and watch the commercials?
Oh, I fast forward as quick as possible.
Okay. Knowing you probably got the real show on double speed. But anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think, or we believe anyway, at Sell to Win, that if you're pushing salesy content, like if you're a business saying, you know, "Look at us, we're number one, you know, here's a new product, you know, look at this right now," people will scroll through that content. We believe in this. You know, when we look at the analytics on our social media work we do for clients, it just, look at the likes and engagement on those posts. It's just terrible. So one of the things when it comes to posting is, you know, we always suggest if you can get real pictures. Now, last week, for those of you that follow me on LinkedIn, I had a photographer come in and do a whole photo shoot of pictures that, like it or not, they're coming on LinkedIn for you. But I just wanted to be able to show organic pictures, because there's worth so much more than a stock photo of, you know, happy multicultural group working at table on technology issue. You know, people can read that stuff. But if you post stuff like, you know, think of it this way. If you picked a theme for each day, and by the way, we suggest that the elite B2B person on LinkedIn is probably posting 3 to 5 times a week. Now, Melissa, I don't know how you feel about that number, but
no, I think that's good. I think there's that balance, right? Like you talked about earlier of just sit back and kind of analyze for a little bit. You don't want to come out just 9, 10, 20, 30 in your first week out. You want to just kind of, you don't want to hit the wall running or hit the floor running. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
I think you just want to go at it. So I think 3 to 5 is realistic, but start slow and build it.
Yeah.
Because you actually have to work during the day. So your employer might be saying, whoa, if this guy's on LinkedIn all day long, he's not doing any work.
Yeah, well, he's or she's probably not on LinkedIn for their reasons. What you raise an interesting question. We'll come back to what the post here, but it's been a difficult challenge at times when I work with the business leaders to say, hey, look, we got to cut some time in the day of your salespeople to actually farm LinkedIn. And make it part, better yet, of your sales activity mix. And right now, a lot of sales organizations, as you come down, let's say from the tech sector, so at the high end, the software as a service, the SaaS market, very advanced in how to use technology, very deep in LinkedIn. They get it, right? Technology, automation, all these things. But as you come down in terms of the ecosystem, we'll call it the traditional sales model, I think people are still wrestling with, is it social media? Is it Facebook? Is it worth it? And I can tell you, having coached, as you said at the beginning, like thousands of B2B salespeople to get up on their water skis on LinkedIn, without question, if they do it and do it the way that we suggest or the right way,
yes.
They'll absolutely grow their pipeline, connect with more decision makers that are at the right level, new accounts, expand their base and existing accounts. It's just a no-brainer, right? To become top of mind. But let's get back to what to post. So we have a formula that we give our clients, but I'll give you a very simple one. If you just thought each day, you thought about, let's say 3 to 5 times a week, maybe not each day, and you did a post on maybe question of the week, something that your customers are asking you. Here's a question, right? And you can put the answer. Maybe it's stat of the week, right? Some statistic that supports whatever it is you sell. So again, make sure you show the source, but that would be an easy post. Charity of the week. Maybe there's a charity in your community that could use that visibility at that certain time of year, or maybe you're involved with it personally. And then, as I mentioned earlier, maybe something as simple as customer of the week. And so you're showcasing or sharing, one of the customers, and think what that does for you in terms of cementing the business relationship, not just the personal relationship. So those are basic. Now we've got a whole playbook that we give them in the boot camp. We talk about shooting selfie videos, which of course is a step up from a static post. But I think in short, if you get your head around like 3 posts a week, you'll be well on your way to success.
I agree. And I think you want a right mix of activity, right? Like you spoke about sharing your customers' posts. And I think that's a great way to start. But again, don't overshare and make sure you have your own organic ones that you're doing as well. I think that you can only determine what your mix is, but
as I said earlier, I think a lot of people want to get going on LinkedIn and they're going to start right away and they're going to go full bore, like you said. And I think that spectator phase is really important, where people figure out, I don't want to be like him, or I do want to be like her. Absolutely. And the more you find role models that align with what you believe, what you want your personality to be. But I would argue that today, LinkedIn is your new digital business card. And oh, by the way, for you old timers, think of LinkedIn as a digital Rolodex, okay, that we used to have with all our business cards, all our contacts. And the more contacts you have, this is the expansion of your network, why we talked about invitations today. I think you're going to see that the more contacts you have with the profile set up properly, right? Remember, you cleaned up at home before company come over, and you're posting content, you're going to all of a sudden become more top of mind at point of need. So when they need what you have to sell, guess what? They're going to go, oh, you know what? I remember that guy on LinkedIn that had that. And I think you'll be just amazed at the new doors it opens. And oh, by the way, with the right decision makers.
Absolutely, Rick. So I better get off here and go clean up mine or post something.
Yeah, hey, thank you very much, Melissa, for joining me today. Thank you for watching. What we're trying to do is help you use LinkedIn to win. And I really appreciate you joining us today on
the Smarketing Show. We'll see you next week. Thanks so much, Rick. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Smarketing Show. If you enjoyed today's show, please like, share, and subscribe to get the latest B2B insights to help you market and sell to win.